There they are. There I am.
Are you muted?
I hope so.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining me. My guest today is going to be Matt Hubbard. And Matt is not here yet, but he will be shortly, I'm sure. And to get started, I'm Diane, and welcome to Continental Confidential Live, and this is number 15. I wanted to start out by letting you know that in the chat section, you'll be able to see a list of our upcoming shows, as well as links for supporting this show and for supporting. Hi, Matt. There you are.
Hi. It's great to be here.
Good to have you.
I can see my mom is here as well.
Yes, she was one of the very first.
Awesome. It's great to be here. I was just rehearsing with Edie. I'm actually at Paul and Edie's.
Aw. Oh, wait. I just lost your. You have to unmute. Are you there?
Yes,
Yeah.
I was just rehearsing with Edie Brickell. I'm here at Paul Simon and Edie's new ranch here in Wimberley, Texas. So they were just practicing. I just rushed over to start the Zoom meeting at their little guest house. So it's happy to be here.
Well, and I was just kind of letting people know that in the chat section, I did put up the schedule for upcoming weekly Zooms that I'm doing, and also to give the list of links for donations. And thank you so much, Matt. Matt has generously offered that any tips that might have gone to him to give to the Continental Club employees instead. And that is much appreciated. Joanne, I'm going to ask you to turn off your video, please. Although it's lovely to have you here, this is Matt's mom, Joanne.
Hi, Mom.
Thank you so much. And on top of, the regular weekly donations that we have, we've just started a brand new thing on our merch page at continentalclub.com/Austin-shop. And we have several bands that have donated either existing t-shirts or brand new t-shirts that no one's ever seen before are being printed by our print shop, Foundry International. And those are up for sale on our website now. And the artists get a portion, the club gets a portion, and the employees get a portion. So it's a winning thing all the way around.
Yeah, actually, someone approached me about, submitting a t-shirt for you all to sell. And I thought, this would be a good one. I did my CD live at Seaboys, which is
that would be fabulous.
And, on a black t-shirt, I think that graphic of the keys would look really good.
It sure would. Oh, wow. Thank you, Matt. That's awesome.
Yeah, I think a gentleman approached me about that recently, about maybe printing up some shirts for y'all.
Probably so. Trey?
Yes,
yeah.
It was.
Yeah, Trey's been a big help in rounding everybody out. And Patrick has taken on this as an effort of love. He's the one that runs our print shop, and he's been just overwhelmed right now with all the orders that came in 24 hours. It's been crazy. He's got like 300 orders right now.
Oh, that's great. Wow.
Yeah, it is. It really is, because, part of this, the portion that goes to the Continental Club is also helping to keep the print shop open and alive.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So it's kind of an all-purpose donation. It's going to get to everybody.
By the way, I wanted to let you all know I did bring my piano here.
Oh, yay.
So if you ever need a little song or anything, let me know.
If you want to say something, that'll be great. But first of all, let's get started with, what was your first gig?
That's a good question. Actually, my mom is here today. Thank you so much for joining us, Mom. Remembers that, before we actually had furniture, they bought a piano when my twin sister and I were very little kids. I think they got it when we were around 2 years old or so. I have a photo of myself at the piano when I was 2. And so my sister and I would take lessons. I think we started around 5 o'clock. And I think my first gig was at age 7. I did a piano recital in East Lansing, Michigan. I believe that's where it was. So, and that was a lot of fun. I still remember the piece, actually. It's a fun little, it was a song written by Mozart's father, actually.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's kind of one for children to learn, So that's just a little excerpt of that piece, so that was the first piece I played in first grade, and it went really well. It was in like a little auditorium that the piano teacher had rented. So.
And were you hooked on performing from that moment on?
Probably just in general. Yeah, I would say yes. So, yeah, we actually were, I think by the time I was out of high school, I'd been in like 30 musicals as well. So my twin sister went on to be a lead in Phantom of the Opera on Broadway and stuff like that. So
Wow.
we both were encouraged quite heavily to play music a lot as kids. So I
Right.
think the first paying gig though was when I was 15. I played trombone in the Edgewood dance band at the local Lions Club in Lansing, Michigan. And I made $60. I was pretty excited about that.
Hey, good. And you are a multi-instrumentalist.
Yeah, that's what it says. That's what people say. Yeah, I mean, we started with piano, my sister and I, when we were quite young, as I mentioned. And then I wanted something with no keys in junior high, so I decided to play the trombone. Also, the kid next door, Dan Fitzgerald, also played trombone in band, and so I thought that was kind of cool. So I ended up doing that, and in 6th grade, I actually got into the jazz band, after like 6 months of playing it, which was fun. And so I ended up playing trombone all the way through high school. I was in, marching band, jazz band, pep bands, all sorts of different bands. And also started playing keyboards in rock bands in 9th grade as well. And then, kind of around the campfire, my mom is actually the handbell choir director at Edgewood United Church in East Lansing, Michigan. And so with the family, we would go to these church camps often near the shore of Lake Michigan, where I grew up in Michigan. And so I remember one time, pulling out a harmonica my mom had and just starting to jam along at the campfire with everybody. And I'm sure it sounded terrible. Actually, I think my mom can agree. But I thought the harmonica was a fun instrument as well to learn. So it's just such a small thing. You can put it in your pocket. And
right.
Actually, I have a harmonica with me. So I think the first song I actually learned to play was this one. So I started with that, kind of like straight harp, and then, moved to more of a blues thing, which is fun. So this is another thing, no one, I took a lot of music lessons through the years, even went to Oberlin Conservatory of Music, but, so I taught myself harmonica. So I take special, it's always fun to play that, play the harmonica.
With no Mel Bay, huh?
No, actually, I have some Mel Bay books. I used one to learn the guitar. My mom, who's here, thank you for joining us, Mom. She, actually taught me my first folk chords, and I, would again strum around the campfire at church camp and whatnot, playing these chords. She had an old Yari Alvarez classical guitar that I learned on. Actually, the very first show I ever went to that I remember is Segovia when we moved to East Lansing, Michigan. So
nice.
It's always fun. I always imagine on my deathbed hiring someone to play the classical guitar for me, because it's such a beautiful sound.
Right.
And then I play bass as well. I mean, not to keep going on, but I played bass with like Calvin Russell. Do you remember him?
Oh, yes, I sure do.
I bet you do.
Yep.
You've seen it all.
Yep.
And then I played with Pauline Reese and also Paula Nelson, my aunt-in-law or whatever. She I played some bass with her when basically the bass player didn't show up. So that's how a lot of people learn how to play bass. So.
Right. It sure is. Or because their brother plays guitar, so they've been forced to learn bass.
That's right. So, yeah, I think even Paul McCartney, you know, was kind of decided that he had to play it because he, and thank goodness, you know.
Right.
People should choose the bass because it's actually one of the most important instruments. You know, you kind of drive the whole song and all the chords and the style of the music. So sometimes people don't notice the bass unless they make a wrong note, but they're really like essential, as you know, seeing so many shows, you know, to the good sound of a band, you know.
Yeah, the backbone of the band.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Definitely.
And once you get a good rhythm section, that can't be beat, you know. You got to have that good rhythm section.
That's true. You know, I play all the time with your good friend, Rob Kidd.
Uh-huh.
You know, he's played at the Continental Club for many years with like 8.5 Souvenirs and probably literally like 100 other bands. So.
Right.
And actually, yeah. And right now I have Brad Hauser playing bass with me in my band, and he's here now at the ranch, and he's the original bassist with Edie Brickell and New Bohemians. So we actually have a new record coming out in February. So February 18th. So you can look out for that. That's
terrific.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you've been keeping pretty busy during this whole time with your own videos.
Well, you were kind enough to encourage me to do live streams and, you know, let me in on the C-Boys Facebook page and everything, and and helping publicize. I've been doing like piano shows every Wednesday. You know, I call it Grandpa's Piano because my mother, who's again here, her father, Jim Downing in Atlanta, Georgia, where she grew up, played piano. Not professionally, but I hear he played like in the jazz band in college and whatnot. And so that's been fun. So we actually went, you know, I had an opportunity to go get his piano in Atlanta, Georgia. So I drove a U-Haul and got some pieces of furniture. And also we put that piano, the grand piano, in the U-Haul. So that's why I call the show Grandpa's Piano, because I'm literally playing my grandfather's piano. Right. Although I never actually met him because he died in 1969 and I was born in December of 70. And actually my 50th birthday is coming up on December 22nd, actually. So, but you know,
Happy
why don't I play
birthday.
that? Oh yeah, I was gonna, you know, have a big party at the Continental Club, but I guess maybe I'll do it for my 51st birthday.
Well,
no parties right now.
My birthday is February 2nd, and it's going to be my 70th, and I was planning on a big bang show, and that's not going to happen either.
Yeah, so maybe we should do like our 51st and 71st parties
Right.
instead. You know what I mean? 51st. Yeah, I mean, I actually have a little theme that I'll play, just the theme of Grandpa's Piano, you know, since I've been playing I've taken this month off, but normally it's every Wednesday at 7. So I have a little Grandpa's Piano theme I can play for y'all.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's just a little taste of my Grandpa's Piano theme song, which I'm actually going to be putting out with my friend as well as your friend, Adam
Aarons.
Yeah, so we just finished actually an instrumental duet record, which we're going to be putting out next year, and we're starting a new duo called Aarons and Hubbard. So hopefully we'll be at the Continental Gallery, you know, I've been talking to Celeste, you know, whenever you do open up.
Right.
Is there any word on when that'll happen? Probably sometime late next year, or no one knows?
You know, we were hoping for spring, but it doesn't look like that's going to be possible yet. So now I think we're probably looking more like fall.
Right.
you know, it really kind of depends on how it goes with all of the vaccines and that
Yeah.
sort of thing. But, you know, even if the vaccines get out to everybody, it's going to take some time before everybody's actually gotten the first and the second shot,
Oh yeah.
you know,
Oh yeah,
because
because
there's a
that one it
waiting
takes
period
two. Yeah.
between the first and the second, and people have to actually go back and get the second one. Uh, and then we have a lot of people that are saying they won't take a vaccine no matter what. So that's going to complicate things. But, you know, we'll see how it goes.
I mean, did you hear that Dolly Parton actually donated the first million in seed money to the I think it's
To
Moderna.
Pfizer? Was it to Pfizer, I think?
No, it's the Mondera
Oh,
one.
yes. Yeah.
It's a smaller company, but I think
Moderna.
Moderna, yeah, they said,
Yeah.
you know, at that time that she gave $1 million, which was provided the seed money to get it going, and then you know, they later got more money, but she helped, you know, start the whole thing. So I
Right.
thought that was pretty amazing. You know,
Right.
she's an amazing person.
Yep. Yeah, the people that weren't calling her Saint Dolly already are now.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's like, you know, I think she's also the second richest musician in the world behind Paul McCartney. Although it looks like Bob Dylan's up there now too.
Oh, he sure is.
Since he just sold his catalog for like $300 or $400 million. So
Right. And you can't call him a sellout because he's already had his time.
well, I'm all for any musicians making money. You know, I think that whole concept of selling out is sort of over with because, you know, musicians can't even play gigs now really. And,
Right.
you know, music is kind of free anyway, you know, online. So it's taken the bottom line out of a lot of stuff. So whatever money that they can make, you know, I think is a good idea. And also, you know, now with that 300 or 400 million, he can like, you know, donate to causes he's, you know, maybe help out family members, do whatever he wants to do with it while he's still alive instead of having everyone fight over it later, you know. So actually, Bob Dylan's manager, Jeff Kramer, is also Paul Simon's manager, as well as Edie Brickell and New Bohemian's manager, which is kind of exciting. So those are his three clients. And we're, you know, a smaller act, obviously, but the exciting news is that actually, like last week, we determined that I'm, you know, now a full member of the band. So that's exciting. I've been playing with them for like 6 years now, since 2014. So that's pretty exciting.
It is. That's very cool. So Matt, growing up, who were your biggest influences?
Well, I guess besides like my sister and my mom and dad, I would say musically, you know, I always like, I mentioned, you know, playing trombone in junior high jazz band. I asked my band director, Ron Tutt, you know, what was a good jazz artist I should, you know, listen to or try out. And he suggested Miles Davis. So Miles Davis was actually my first, you know, jazz artist that I listened to. And then, you know, I of course always loved the Beatles. My parents had all the Beatles records. So
right.
I remember having one of the first Walkman in first grade and putting like Sgt. Pepper's on one side of a cassette and Magical Mystery Tour on the other side. And actually, you know, putting the headphones on and kind of scaring myself, you know, at the end of Strawberry Fields with all the weird voices and stuff. It was just a new, exciting experience, you know, being, you know, fascinated by all the sounds that they could make. So, and then I'd say, you know, I always said my holy trinity was like the Beatles, Miles Davis, and then Bob Marley, who I was introduced to in high school, which was a whole new set of sounds. And he's someone to me, you know, kind of like Bob Dylan, who successfully, you know, creates a marriage of like good music with social justice, you know what I mean? Social justice issues with like, you know, his one love song and his sort of peace and empowerment of the third world and whatnot. So I always thought he was a very special artist, you know, Bob Marley. So, and I like so many other artists and bands too, you know.
Interestingly enough, Bob Dylan has been mentioned on almost every single one of these.
Really? Wow. That's great.
And so, do you consider yourself to be a songwriter?
I guess I am. I mean, I'm not naturally doing like the strum and guitar singer songwriter thing that people are pretty fond of in Austin, but you know, I have written a lot of songs. I actually have one coming out on my birthday on December 22nd. I was meaning to mention. It's called "You're Not Gonna Get What You Want for Christmas."
Oh, good one.
Which I thought this year was very fitting, actually. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's sort of, and I might play a little bit of it. So I actually came up with a cover yesterday, and it's going to come out on iTunes and everywhere on the 22nd, my birthday of December. And here's a little snippet of it. Christmas time here again, whoop-de-doo. Joy abounds, but what about me and you? I hear children singing Silent Night, Holy Night. But you're not gonna get what you want for Christmas. You're not gonna get what you want this year. You're not gonna get what you want for Christmas. You're not gonna get what you want this year. Santa Claus, won't you come down my chute with your cellulite, wearing that big red suit? I've seen your elves spying on me all year long. They'll say, Matt's been good just trying to sing his song. Well, Santa, I have but one wish this season. I want you to tell her you're not gonna get what you want for Christmas. You're not gonna get what you want this year. You're not gonna get what you want for Christmas. Sing along, y'all, come on. I can't hear you. You're not gonna get what you want this year. Keep it going. I've heard you've been quite naughty, spreading lies about me. Not half of what you've heard is true. So why does it have to be front page news? You're not gonna get what you want for Christmas. You're not gonna get what you want this year. Christmas time here again, whoopsie-doo.
Oh my God, that's wonderful.
Thank you. That's so much fun. That's my Christmas song. So that'll be available on all the streaming services and on December 22nd, my 50th birthday. So I actually recorded the song originally in '97.
Whoa.
And then added some sleigh bell saxophone and upright bass in 2003. So I was actually going through my closet to, find some stuff for Wayne Sutton, actually, who's in a Pike and Sutton. I recorded a record with him at Willie's studio. I used to run Willie's Luck recording studio from like 2000 to 2015. And we recorded a record called Walking Disaster with Wayne Sutton. And, he actually wanted it to be remixed. So I had to go through the closet and look through all the files and the hard drives and find his material. And I found this song. And I thought, this is the perfect year to like.
He's Elizabeth Schultz in Washington with the latest.
President-elect Joe Biden continuing to build out his administration as his pick to lead the Department of Defense.
I don't know where that's coming from.
Hey, Lori, your TV's on. Lori Stevenson, you need to mute your. She's one of my friends. She's a huge music fan. So
there you go. I just muted her.
Thank you, Lori, for joining us. Where was I? Sorry.
You were saying that you were looking for this in the closet, and you came across this one while you were looking for Wayne Sutton's.
Yeah, so I thought that was fortunate, and there's a lot of other neat stuff. I found like all the master tapes for the Rainbow Connection. That was a record I produced with Willie Nelson, and actually there's a big TV commercial out with the song out right now.
It's huge right now. People are talking about it on the internet all the time.
Yeah, and actually they added some neat strings at the end. I thought they used the song really well. And someone actually, Amy Nelson, Willie's daughter, just posted yesterday that's the #1 TV commercial.
Yep.
So
yep,
it was cool. I actually played bass.
And nobody ever knows that it's for Kohl's.
Oh, it is? I had no idea. I just heard the song like, oh my God, that's
Exactly.
me.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's the
actually,
thing is like nobody actually, it's not very good product identification because everybody knows the commercial, but nobody knows who it's for.
yeah, because it's a beautiful commercial, and that was actually recorded live. Willie sat in the room and sang live. It wasn't in the booth, no overdubs. And then David Zettner, who actually plays bass on my Christmas song, he passed away a few years ago. He plays bass, or rather acoustic guitar, and then I play bass. So that was a huge moment in my life, playing with him. So,
Right.
I mean, Amy Nelson, Willie's daughter, just said, hey, I had this idea. Wouldn't it be cool if like Dad recorded the song Rainbow Connection? That'd be so much fun. Can you come in tomorrow? I'm like, sure. So, and it ended up, we ended up recording a lot of songs. We did a whole record, and it was kind of going to be a children's record, but then we did some like the 33rd of August by Mickey Newberry and some other more adult numbers. So I remember looking when the Grammys came out that year in 2001. It was like I was looking in the children's music category. I was like, oh, I guess we didn't get nominated. But then they ended up putting it up for Country Album of the Year Grammy. So that was obviously a real treat. And it's been pretty much a downward slope in my career since then.
Right.
No, I'm kidding.
Right. You and Amy have
fun,
both never
definitely.
gone anywhere since then.
It's been fun. So you actually, yeah, I guess other highlights were I was, I played with the Grateful Dead drummer for 5 years in this band called Seven Walkers.
Seven
So
Walkers.
that record is available. It's the number 7 and then Walkers. And that was with Papa Molly, the Austin guitar player. You remember him, right? From the Killer Bees.
Right.
And you had Robert Hunter, who passed away, writing all the lyrics. So that was fun. And then after that, I played with Ricky Lee Jones. You remember her, right?
Yep.
And then a little bit with Wanda Jackson on our Sue Remember last shows. And then I was actually subbing for Earl Poolball, who's one of my role models. And then now Edie Brickell and New Bohemians. So it's been fun, definitely. And I have my own band too.
Rather an illustrious career so far, Matt.
Well, the first time I ever played at the Continental Club was with Jane Bond. You remember her?
Yes, I do.
She actually has a young baby, a daughter, and she moved to Belton, so she's actually doing okay right now.
Yeah, I haven't seen her in years.
Yeah, unfortunately,
I had one of our residencies for quite a while.
Yeah, I remember we started out playing at the Parlor and then moved to the Hole in the Wall, and then the Continental Club was interested because Wayne Nagel, who used to be the owner, was our manager. And so that was sort of a dream come true for me. I'd always, when I first moved to Austin in '94, it was sort of like, my dream was to play at the Continental Club, I got to tell you. So I've based a lot of everything as far as my music style and everything around being influenced by the Continental Club. And then after, we played Jane Bond and I was in the band. We played at the very first ACL Music Fest. And we were one of the first acts on the first day. I think us and Ray Benson, Asleep at the Wheel. And I actually quit the band the next day. But Jane continued at the Continental Club for a while. But then after that, we ended up doing a brief weekly residency on Thursdays with, you remember the Small Stars?
Yeah, of course.
Miles from Fastball, and we all had costumes. Yep. I was actually the priest in the band. And that's how I got familiar with John Bush, who's the percussionist here with Edie Brickell and New Bohemians, who I was just rehearsing with. I'm at Edie and Paul's ranch right now in Wimberley. But he played in the band. I think he was an Australian surfer. And then Jeff Johnson was on bass. He played a college professor with a pipe. We had the mariachi, and then Miles, and Nakia, of course, was our manager.
Right.
It's where I first met Nakia, and then of course Miles Zuniga from Fastball was the lead singer and a lounge singer character. So it's always fun to bring some good stuff.
Oh, that was the character?
Very good. Bravo. That's hilarious. Oh my God.
Don't get me wrong, I love Miles, but I couldn't resist.
I mean, totally. That's so funny. Hey, and it's nice to see Joyce. I see my friend Joyce is here along with my mom. Joyce is a huge Seven Walkers fan. I met her on the East Coast. So.
Oh, cool.
And of course, hey, how's it going, Larry? I see 2 Larrys here, and Lori, and my mom. Wonderful.
You got some fans.
Oh, I guess Joyce just gave us the thumbs up. Nice.
Cool.
So,
So now, as a songwriter, of course, all of your songs are like your babies,
yeah.
but do you have a favorite?
I'd say yes. It's probably the song "Lift Me Up." I wrote it. It's actually on my gospel album,
Uh-huh.
which people were kind of surprised I put out a gospel record. But it's my dad asked me to. He passed away in 2019, but before he died, he asked me to please finish an album and make it just a simple gospel record that I, could. Like when I would go up to Michigan and play piano in church and sing, just something very simple. So I ended up getting Brad Hauser and Chris Searles to play drums, and it just recorded it at my house. It's all traditional songs, except the very last number is called "Lift Me Up," and that's a song I recorded again around 2003 with Willie Nelson playing guitar, and then Amy Nelson and Paula sing backup, and then again David Zettner, Willie's old buddy, played a acoustic guitar and upright. So do you mind if I just play a little bit of it?
Oh, please.
Okay. Here we go. See if I have my water here anywhere. I guess I don't, but you guys can forgive me. Here we go. Lift me up into the crystal stars above. Lift me up unto eternal holy love. I wanna be a broken angel in your eyes. Now with just one kiss we'll be baptized. When we went into that dark and deadly wood, when we knew we only did it 'cause we could, will we ever mend our wild and wicked ways? Will we ever learn before we meet our graves? One day when we reach that last twilight crossroads, one day when we lighten up our earthly loads, yes, in time, my friend, I'll see you there, where dreams are free to roam. When one day comes, only the fortune teller knows, so the story goes. Lift me up unto the crystal stars above. Lift me up unto eternal holy love. I wanna be a broken angel in your eyes. Now with just one kiss we'll be baptized. Amen.
Nice.
Thank you. I hope the audio through the computer is okay. I don't have my normal mic, but
On this end, it sounds really good.
great.
Yeah.
You sound good too.
Well, thank you. So if you had one song in the world that you could have written, what would it be?
Probably Imagine
Mhm.
by the Beatles, or actually it's by John Lennon,
John Lennon, right?
who I couldn't believe it actually was the 40th anniversary of his death yesterday.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
I was 10 years old when he, or actually 9, I guess, when he passed away. And I remember I was listening to the radio, and they announced it on the radio. So, and you know, at that time he was my favorite. I mean, they were my favorite band, the Beatles. So I did cry, you know.
I did too.
Yeah.
He was not my favorite Beatle, but I cried.
No, Paul McCartney's always been my favorite Beatle, but I mean,
Harrison was
John
mine.
is super cool though, you know.
And so Matt, what are your plans for the future? What do you see yourself doing?
Well, you know, my son is 20 years old, so I still, you know, want to be a great father as long as I can, and I'd like to start jogging, but I sort of stopped, but and I need to get out on the kayak while it's still, you know, somewhat warm, but I would like to bring world peace. So, but as far as like music goes, you know, I'm excited that, you know, like I said earlier, playing with Edie Brickell now, and our new record is out on February 18th. So we're just actually you know, practicing to film some videos so they can show them on the talk shows and everything. Because now musicians can't go to Colbert or whatever. We have to send in videos. So fortunately, on this new beautiful ranch Edie and Paul just got here in Wimberley, there's like sort of a green hall size like barn in there, or dance hall. So we have all of our stuff set up, and they're going to be setting up video cameras tomorrow, and we're going to start filming some stuff for the TV shows, which is really, you know, exciting. Definitely. And besides, you know, I have my new Christmas single coming out on the 22nd. So, you know, I'm just going to keep in January, start playing, you know, doing my Wednesday live streams, my grandpa's piano show. And I've been pretty busy. You know, people send me a lot of songs, and then I play, you know, the piano parts at home and send it to them. So that's kind of how people record now. They just send things through the email. So I'm definitely looking forward to like putting out the record with Adam Aarons this upcoming year. We have an instrumental record. So I've been actually working a lot, going through a lot of old, you know, going through all the old recordings I have. I just this year finished up and put out a La Lechuza record. That's a album with Mario Mattioli. You know him from the Weary Boys, a very popular Continental Club act. And his wife, Casey Mattioli, and myself and my wife, Martha, we have this band called La Lechuza. And a lechuza is a Mexican barn owl. It's kind of a spooky thing, you know, people think they're like haunted or whatever. So it's sort of a neat thing. And the band's sort of like Velvet Underground. So, you know, hopefully with all these acts, we can kind of get out there and maybe play some gigs. But, you know, as you know, right now, that's kind of a hard situation. I had been playing some gigs at Guero's and stuff and other places, but I'm not, you know, going to be playing any gigs anywhere really until the whole like coronavirus thing is worked out, because I actually have asthma and I'm now about to be 50 years old. So I don't really want to mess around with this. Plus I have a lot of older relatives and, you know, so I'm kind of shutting it back down. Although I've always been very careful, but, you know, I guess kind of like everyone else, I'm just sort of like waiting for the pandemic to end, you know. How have you been doing?
I've been isolating since March 8th was my last day of work. And I haven't done anything since then, except, I mean, I haven't even gone to my doctor's or anything. I've gone to the grocery store once every 10 days or so. I do go to Walmart 3 days a week, but I don't go inside. And here's the trick. I go there to feed a feral cat.
Oh, yeah.
He lives at the garden center. So I don't have to have any contact with people. I don't have to go inside the store. He eats outside the exit door.
Oh, great.
So, you know, it's like I get out of the house, but I'm very seldom interacting with people. My friends do pickups and drop-offs here, and I have 2 doors. One is my studio door and one is my main door. They're about probably 8 feet apart. And so, you know, if they're picking up something, I can have them pick up something at the studio door, and I can be at my main door, and we talk from there.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And that's how we do it. You know, it's not as much fun.
No, I mean,
But-
I have enjoyed like some time to like slow down a little bit. Actually, March 8th was my last gig as well, like, you know, out in the real world, like with the Golden Dawn Orchestra, we played at Hotel Vegas, and then the next day they shut everything down.
Right.
And fortunately, that was an outdoor gig, but yeah, and then they shut, you know, South by Southwest down, and Austin folded,
Right.
basically. So actually, you know, I just was talking today. Do you remember Curtis Pollock, the filmmaker? And he did some scenes in front of the gallery. I was actually in. Anyway, this Curtis Pollock is a guy. He used to do camera work for Saturday Night Live and other people, and he's written his own movie. And I think Steve might even be in it. I'm not sure, but anyway, we used the front of the Continental Gallery and stuff as a set. And the music supervisor, he's using one of my songs from Live at Sea Boys in the record, which I actually co-wrote with the Grateful Dead drummer. So we're trying to, you know, get in contact with their people about like getting permission and everything. But he was commenting that the film, The Roommate, is kind of about the music scene. It's about a woman who moves from New York City and comes to Austin to move in with a new roommate. But then when she gets there, the roommate's not there. The roommate's been murdered. So it's sort of it's sort of a murder mystery set in the music scene of Austin. So she's going to all the clubs and, you know, the whole scene. I actually have a part in the film. I talked to her in front of the gallery. And the amazing thing is that they were telling me today that the film is like an homage to the way Austin used to be. You know what I mean? They actually went to all these clubs. You can see Austin fully come to life. So I'm excited to see the movie come out so that we can see the Continental Club and all the other places the way that we know of them and that we love them, you know, fully bustling with people.
Right.
And I know we'll get back there again someday, but, you know, I'm definitely going to check that out and see what Austin was like. And I mean, do you think it's going to come back or better than ever? Or like, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think one of the things that is currently happening and will continue to happen is that there is a creative renaissance going on right now. People have more time on their hands than they've probably ever had.
Yeah.
They're also getting bored. And so people are actually starting to do things that they'd always thought someday they would like to do and never have. Like write a song, learn how to play an instrument, write a book, learn how to paint, do all of these different creative things. People are tired of television. They're tired of not having anything to occupy their time. And so what I'm seeing is people just all over the place are beginning to really dip into that creative river that is so easy to ignore during the hustle and bustle. But with all of this downtime, people are tapping into that creative streak, and it's really amazing to see what's coming out of it. So I think that when we do go back to being fairly normal, I don't think it'll ever be exactly the way that it was. It can't be. But I do think that we're going to see a resurgence of original music, and some of it will probably take different forms and different directions than what we're used to seeing.
That's really good. Yeah.
And I think absolutely that's for the best. Yeah. As far as club life, I think that for several years, there's going to be a real difference in the way that business is conducted in live music venues. Some will survive and some won't, you know, and I think the power of the internet has really done a lot towards promoting live music, in that not only do we keep in touch with the musicians we love via the internet, but also they're able to hook people in that have never experienced them before.
Yeah, I mean, I agree because I'd never live streamed, and we always made fun of Rob Kidd, the drummer. He would like live stream from his snare drum like
Right.
every show, and it was like a
Right.
running joke. And
I
he'd be like,
watched those.
"Great snare drum, Robbie." Um, but and the thing is now though, the few gigs I have done, since the pandemic started, I live stream every one and I'm going to continue to do my live streams at home. But also when I do start playing gigs again, I'm going to live stream all the gigs. So people like my mom who's here and other
Right.
Joyce who's clapping right now, they can share that. And it's also it's something I've been doing too. Like I mentioned, my mom is like a choir director, handbook choir director at our hometown church in East Lansing, Michigan. And they've been, they can't go into the church. So they've been, live streaming or putting together little videos of the service. And we've actually been, sending in videos, all of us from all around the country have been sending in videos. And then the choir director actually puts all of our little voices together and we're singing a song, because he gives us like a guide track. We sing to it to the music, and then he puts all of it together, and it's like a little Zoom meeting with all the squares, and you have a whole choir there.
Uh-huh.
So that's and actually I just performed I just recorded a song for that today. I did Imagine, I think a week or two ago at church, but just by sending in these videos. So that's actually, it's called Edgewood United Church in East Lansing, Michigan. So you can check out all those videos and stuff, and it's a lot of fun. So yeah, I think we're going to continue live streaming even when we start playing gigs again, because I know it's fun for people to see that who aren't here in Austin or wherever I'm playing. Just like it's fun for me to be able to see the church service in Michigan, in my hometown church, which I get to do even though I'm down here in Texas. So I really enjoy that,
Right. I know I'll continue doing these interviews for the foreseeable future. I have no intention of giving them up anytime soon.
Yeah, it's a great idea. The program, it's a great honor to be asked to do it, by the way. I wanted to thank you for inviting me.
Oh gosh, you're so welcome, Matt. I think you're one of our most interesting musicians.
Really? Wow.
I do.
That's amazing, because you have a lot of interesting musicians.
Well, we do. We're very blessed in that. We have a lot of very interesting musicians, indeed. But I think that your musical experience and your musical growth and all of that has been so interesting to watch. Because of course, I've been aware of you for many years. And so I've watched you go from, being a session player and a production person for Willie to being with Seven Walkers and now being with Edie. And, it's like I've just watched you do all of this. And to me, I think that's fabulous. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Austin,
and I have to say, your weekly video with my grandfather's piano, the fact that it was your grandfather's piano hooked me right away.
It really is his piano too. As my mom can say, and I never met, as I said earlier, I never met Grandpa Jim, but I'm playing this piano. So he was a car salesman in Atlanta, Georgia. Sold Ferraris and stuff like that.
I have a virtual screen up here, but if we were on my actual living room, I would turn my computer around so that you could see right next to me is the old Continental Club piano.
Oh, you have it at your house? Really?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I've had it here for several years. And on it is still the sign that says no drinks on this piano. And right next to it is a big old drink stain.
Of course.
And all the burn marks on the keys from Irby Bowser. And
yeah, it's kind of like a tannish brown color. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember that one? It had kind of a heavy action. So you had to really dig in to play that thing.
Yeah. And half the ivories are burned on it now. And because Irby would be playing along and he'd set his cigar down on the side. And then of course it would roll over onto the keys. And
there's some cute videos of cats playing pianos, so online. But that's something I always tell people, that they say, is it hard to we have a cat here. The guitarist in the band, Kenny, he's the band cat. So, I guess rehearsal's over. Yeah. Yeah, I just left rehearsal to, yeah, I'm here at Edie and Paul's new ranch. So, and Kenny, the guitarist, actually lives here as well. So
Nice.
we've been coming out almost every day. So we're in our like little bubble, shall we say?
Yep.
So.
And so is it time for you to go back to work? Was that kind of the hint?
No, I don't know. I guess they're, I did say I would go back at some point. I don't know if they're going to continue though. It's a pretty casual around here, but they're all wonderful people. I feel so fortunate to be playing with them. And I don't know if, for those of you who don't know, Edie Brickell and New Bohemians is from Dallas, and they all met when they were quite young and when they were kids. And
yep.
They were jamming, and then you just popped up on stage at a party and, you know, made up some lyrics. And oh, Edie just texted, "Oh, is Matt back?" Okay. I'll say, "I'm on my way down." Oh, we're done? I'll text her, "I'm still here," but Kenny says we're done. Cool. Yeah, so I was like, happy I could find a Wi-Fi connection out here because, you know, we're in the middle of nowhere. So,
right.
But I'm happy it's all worked out, and the Zoom worked out, because I haven't really done many Zoom meetings at all. This is only my 4th the whole pandemic, so good to be here.
Well, up until now, I have done all Facebook Live, and I've been doing Facebook Lives of our bands on stage playing.
Oh, great.
So, you know, when that all came to an end, for a while, I just took a break from all of it. But then when I started doing this again was when I first learned Zoom. And quite frankly, I'm still in the learning process with it.
Yeah, I mean, it took me a second to get on, but I managed to do it. And, you know, it was great that you put the link right in the Facebook invite. That's very handy.
Yeah, it is handy. Yes. Because I know that, you know, if people get lost trying to find the event, they're not going to show up for it. So. Well, Matt, I certainly want to thank you so much for joining me today. And since
thank you for having me.
And since we have just recently come off Thanksgiving and we're heading into Christmas, what were you most thankful for this year?
A family. You know, since I've gotten to spend more time with family, with time off of the road and everything, it's wonderful, especially my son and his mother, Martha, my mother-in-law, Lana, and I got to go to Michigan and spend some time with my mother and my sister as well. My mom is on quarantine in Michigan, so we're going to miss the holidays together. So I do miss my mother a lot, and but very thankful we all have our health, and I hope you stay healthy as well. And I'm thankful for you, actually.
Oh, thank you,
Dianne.
That's very sweet for you to say. And so your birthday's coming up. Happy 50th. You're pretty close to it now.
I still feel good, so.
Yay.
50 is the new 30 and 70 is the new 50. That's what I say. Right?
I hope that's so.
You look great. I can't believe you're going to be 70. I don't believe that.
Oh, yeah, 70. I never thought I'd make it past 25. So, you know, 70 is pretty impressive to me, too.
Yeah, very good.
I got all of my bad habits out of the way early. So, you know, I quit them all. And now I'm, you know, pretty good because I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do any of that anymore.
That's great. Yeah, I think if you drank and worked at a bar, it'd be a bad scene, probably.
Well, I did drink and work at a bar for many years, and that's how I paid for my drinking.
I see. Totally.
I was a practicing alcoholic, and then I got good at it, so there was nothing left to do but quit.
Well, that's wonderful, and I'm glad you're sober, and keep staying that way, of course.
Oh yes, it's 34 years on the 27th.
Well, that's great. Yeah. Congratulations.
So anyways, thank you so much, Matt. Thank you all for joining us. The links for donations and for other ways to help us out are right there in the chat section. And I'll be posting this video to all of our Facebook pages and to the Continental Club YouTube channel, which is Continental Club ATX on YouTube. And it's
Right.
all one word. If you split it, then you're going to get a bazillion other videos. So you want to use Continental Club ATX, one word. And so I will be back next week with Elias Haslanger from Church on
Yay.
Monday.
He's wonderful. And thank you everyone for coming. My mom, Larry and Joyce and Karen and Lori. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you all. And y'all have a great week. See you later.
Bye.
Bye, Matt.
Bye.